Championship is well and truly back, and it was back with a bang. And this is 5 things we learned yet again from the Championship in game week 5. So good to have the Championship back, and so good to have the series back after a couple of weeks. If you're a Championship fan, do hit subscribe on this channel. We do daily Championship content, so if you wouldn't mind hitting that subscribe button. If you're a fan of any team in the Championship, this is the place to be. Do hit that subscribe button and drop a like as well if you do go on to enjoy the video. That would be very greatly appreciated as well. And let's jump straight into it. And I mean, we've got to start it off with what happened on Friday now, just to go over that game quickly. Of course, Ipswich Town versus Sheffield United, 5-0 to Ipswich. And we learned that Ipswich, after the international break now, they could be a scary, scary proposition this season. So definitely a kind of call to the rest of the Championship to show that Ipswich are well and truly back, and hopefully for them anyway, they can replicate what they did last time they were in the Championship and get themselves a promotion season. With this season, with having so much firepower in terms of quality, how much money they've spent as well, they have got an unbelievable side. And you look in that game against Sheffield United, I mean, we'll get on Sheffield United in a second, but I want to talk about the quality of Ipswich and of course the quality of Jayden Philogene. This is a player that's really, really struggled since signing for Ipswich. He scored 2 goals against United when he first signed, and I don't think he scored a goal since then. He might have maybe scored one in the cup or something, but I don't even think he scored at all. To back 3 goals out of that was unbelievable. And the goals that he scored as well, I think his XG was like 0.3 in the end, 0.37 XG, and managed to score 3 goals from that kind of XG. I mean, the defending from Ben Godfrey, he had possibly the worst right-back performance I've ever seen from a Championship in the history of the Championship, because he let Jayden Philogene onto his right foot. Fair enough, once you can make that mistake, it can happen sometimes. Do not let it happen again in the same game, because he let it happen again in the same game. And then just to take the mick one more time, Jayden Philogene actually went then on his left side and just put one into the top corner. And then Jack Clark got substituted on for Jayden Philogene on that left side for Ipswich, and then scores as well. So Ben Godfrey literally had as big a disaster class as you can ever get. On Sheffield United, I mean, Michael Cooper in goal is an absolute shadow of his former self. I don't know what's happened to him. I mean, he made 6 saves in the game, but like some of the goals that you see, the George Hurst one just went completely through him. He should have done better on another one of the goals as well. 2 goals I think he should have done better on. And to concede 5 goals, I mean, it wasn't obviously his fault. His defence in front of him has been absolutely shambolic, let's be honest. But Michael Cooper's a shadow of his former self. Tanganga will be thinking, what have I done? What am I doing joining? But what have I done? May have made a big mistake signing with Sheffield United. Of course, still very early days. He wasn't great in the slide. So, I mean, no one was in that Sheffield United team. And it was a lineup. Like, Ruben Sellers has got serious questions to be asked of him at this point, because I mean, you're going into a game, you've had 0 shots on target going into it away from home in terms of all season. You had 1 in the cup, which was Gustavo Hamer from the halfway line. He scored a goal this season. Tyrese Campbell scored a goal this season. Why are you not starting your best players? Like, you know, as a bare minimum, you need to be starting players that have been there last season in terms of they know the club, Gustavo Hamer and Tyrese Campbell. They've scored goals to the club, they've performed. Surely you go with just your straight up best players. This Tom Cannon, honestly, he's been absolutely useless since signing for Sheffield United. He offers absolutely nothing, doesn't get involved in the play. Like, fair enough, his service isn't great, yeah, I can understand. But when your service isn't great, I always think with a striker, you've got to be making the intelligent runs. If not, you've got to be dropping and getting a few touches of the ball and involving yourself. I don't think Tom Cannon even looks like he wants it. Genuinely, he's such a frustrating watch. The signings into like Louis Barry hasn't been great in terms of that. It's obviously difficult for him. But in terms of the lineup, I think Ruben Sellers got it all wrong, and it's serious questions over him. I think he's got to be looking at himself now and thinking, you know, you've signed a lot of players now, and you've got a lot of players that you wanted at the end of the transfer window. You've had an international break to work with it. To come back and lose 5-0, you know, you could have lost this game and maybe put up a decent performance, lost it by 1, and you'd say, you know, you wouldn't be all up in arms, but that is just absolutely embarrassing. Ipswich, I think this is the start for them where they can really get on a run. I think the midfielders going to Matt Siwa and Kayuste, of course, Kayuste is such a good option in that side. I think McAteer and Akram didn't have the greatest game, especially McAteer, I don't think had the best game. But as I say, there's a lot of positives to take from Ipswich. Of course, 5-0, that's their season started right there. They absolutely needed a result like that. So a huge result for Ipswich. Sheffield United, honestly, I think Ruben Sellers is seriously under pressure at this point. And you look at it, you know, sacking Chris Wilder on 90 points to then go to Ruben Sellers, who just about stayed up in the Championship. It was always going to be a risky appointment, and it's definitely not paid off. I don't think Ruben Sellers is a bad coach. I just think Sheffield United isn't the right fit for him. I think he's definitely a manager that's worked under better circumstances when he's kind of been the underdog in terms of what he did at Reading. And I don't know about a club with the pressure of Sheffield United. I just don't think it's going to work out for Ruben Sellers, and especially with the way that they've been. I mean, 12 goals conceded, 1 goal scored. It's been absolutely pathetic, to be honest. And then going on to the derby day, which was Charlton versus Millwall. I mean, I've seen the words that Nathan Jones has said about Ramsey, and he was not happy with that sending off for Ramsey. I mean, how Ramsey was foolish in terms of diving into a tackle. I mean, Charlton centre-backs all in. I mean, obviously it's a derby day, you're going to be up for it. I think Jones, and as well as that Ramsey, I mean, red card for him. Jones got a yellow. I mean, I think discipline was definitely an issue for Charlton in this game. And Bangura-Williams came on off the bench. And, I mean, Kerry scored a nice goal as well, by the way. But Bangura-Williams came off the bench was fantastic. He did actually score a goal when he was offside, just a few minutes before he actually put the ball in the back of the net. I thought he was a real threat when he came on. And he's a player that's got a lot of potential. We saw it in kind of glimpses last season when he first broke through. And he's a player that came off the bench and made a real good impact. And overall for Millwall, I mean, they'll take a point coming back, obviously, against 10 men for the last 15. They would have liked to go on to win that game ideally, but at least they didn't end up losing it. I mean, what is it now? It's like 30 years or something since Charlton last beat Millwall, something crazy like that. So good for Millwall to get themselves a point back. And as I say, I think a point is probably a fair reflection overall over the course of the game. I'd say that was a fair result. Another thing that we actually learned as well with the championship, again, the teams in relegation, or the relegation teams, not having it all their own way. And that's Leicester City, who performance-wise, I don't think have been the best this season. I mean, a point isn't absolutely diabolical because they were away from home against Oxford. Obviously, they had 10 men since the 24th minute. I mean, Aaron Ramsey, what a disaster debut that was for him. You can debate the red card, but it was a dangerous tackle. There's no denying. You know, I don't think you can have too many complaints. I mean, obviously, you can look at it in detail, maybe think, you know, maybe it wasn't as high or it didn't connect or whatever. But like, it's a dangerous tackle. So for me, you can't have any complaints about a red card for that, in my opinion. Will Lancashire getting another goal for Oxford. He's been really impressive so far. I mean, he was at West Brom, wasn't he, last season? He didn't really impress all too much at West Brom in his time. I mean, obviously there's a lot of options in that West Brom forward line, but so far for Oxford, he started the season pretty well. And I'd say for Oxford, of course, they had Scarlett on loan at one point last season, so they do love themselves a Spurs loan. And as well as that, Soumare scored an own goal. I mean, it was a bit of a messy goal, wasn't it? And ended up taking a deflection off Soumare, then falling into the back of the net. Leicester scored a really nice goal, to be fair, with Ricardo Pereira that equalised. A really nice ball through from Fatawu. Jordan Ayew getting himself a goal as well. It's not a diabolical result for Leicester. I mean, you look at the stats here, Oxford probably did enough to win the game until obviously they're up against 10 men. They were always going to create more and it was going to be easier for them playing against 10. But I think Leicester is not an awful result, but as I say, you need to be getting, you would like to have got 3 points going into that game against Oxford, but given the circumstances, it's not a diabolical result for Leicester. But as I say, they're not really having it all their own way. You know, we've seen now after the first 5 matches, if you look at it, Southampton haven't played yet at the time of recording, but you've got Ipswich in the bottom half. Leicester have got 10 points where they've definitely revved their luck at times, in my opinion. But it's still a decent start to the season for Leicester overall. But as I say, still not perfect, still definitely signs that need to be improved, in my opinion. And oh my word, the Middlesbrough support was absolutely fantastic in this game, by the way. 5,600 travelling Middlesbrough fans, absolutely unbelievable support. And the scenes in the away end were just unbelievable. Matt Targett getting the first goal. But by the way, actually, Dobbins' goal, Lewis Dobbins, that was a fantastic strike from him. He's looked really good since coming into Preston. I mean, I've seen a little bit of him, but he hasn't really played all too much in the Championship from what I've seen. I mean, he played a bit for Derby, but I've not really seen him too much. West Brom, Norwich, and he's looked really good for Preston so far since coming in. I think he's been a real threat, and I was very much impressed with him. Really nice goal right into the top corner, really nice strike from him. And Preston got some really good players. Some of the signs they've brought in, to be fair to them, have been really impressive so far. Then they get themselves what they thought was the win in the 88th minute through Jordan Story from a corner. But then, again, Middlesbrough come back, and oh my word, what on earth happened with that goal? It was absolute carnage. I mean, Everson punched the ball away, and then it fell back to Hansen, who volleyed it. I mean, it was absolutely scrambled. I think Alan Brown was in there. He was off the bench. He almost scrambled it as well. I mean, it was unbelievable. They had to get the goal line technology out for the goal, and it was absolute carnage for the away. And the away fans absolutely deserved that kind of moment, with the travelling fans. I mean, I thought Preston put up a really good showing in the game. Probably a draw. I mean, you look at them stats there, draw is probably a fair result. I thought Preston really gave a good account of themselves as well. And you look at Preston, they picked up a point now against Middlesbrough. Could have been 3, picking up points against Ipswich and Leicester as well. Preston have been, in terms of, playing against the top teams in the division, Preston have been really, really impressive in terms of that. And Middlesbrough maintain their unbeaten start and remain as well at the top of the table. We'll talk about the table towards the end, but maintain that unbeaten start. And 13 points, really good start for Middlesbrough. And to battle back, it shows real character with that Rob Edwards side to battle back and get themselves a point from what was but looked to be 0 points and in a bit of a desperate situation when Preston got that second goal to make it 2-1. And oh my word, this game was unbelievable because that was utter domination. On another day, right? I know, right? This is the mad thing, right? Coventry created better quality chances in this game against Norwich than they did against QPR when they beat us 7-1. Because, just looking at XG, obviously, you can't base a game of XG, but Coventry created so many good chances in that game. On another day, Coventry could have won that 5-1, 6-1. It genuinely could have been like, Chris Gordon scored a really nice goal, really well taken goal on his left foot. Good for him to get his first goal for Norwich City, definitely needed that, so that's real good for him and his confidence going forward. Of course, signing for quite a bit of money over from the Danish league, I believe. And honestly, Norwich could have walked away with the 3 points. They'll be kicking themselves because for Hadji Wright's goal, what on earth was Harry Darling doing? Like, just kick the ball out, mate. You literally what on earth? Just kick the ball out and you're literally safe. You got the 3 points and you've got yourself the win. Like, unbelievable. And then it goes across, falls to Hadji Wright. Can't possibly miss him there. He almost did. He still put it into the right-hand corner of the net. But honestly, he had a few chances in the game. Hadji Wright should have scored more than one. I think Ellis Sims had chances. Everybody had chances. Again, look at that XG, 3.68, 28 shots. Coventry, in terms of chance creation, are just a joke. They need to be able to take the chances. Obviously, they've done that pretty well over the course of the season so far, but that was kind of the old Coventry City where they create a lot of chances, don't put them away. At least they battled back and got a point, but honestly, look at that. They'll take a point because it was a last-minute equaliser, yeah, but honestly, they should have absolutely battered Norwich on another day. If things went their way, they absolutely could have done that. Don't speak on this too much. Sheffield Wednesday 3-0, Bristol City. Absolutely lethal game. We've spoken about Bristol City a lot on this page so far this season with Mehmeti, Scott Twine, Emma Rees. All three of them, again, it's another one everyone eats. It feels like it's happening quite a lot with Bristol City now. It's like 12 goals or something crazy this season. Already all the forward line cooking. Obviously, it's against Sheffield Wednesday and it's a difficult situation. Disaster for Harry Mass, who made his debut after signing for United and scoring an own goal literally instantly in his debut, unfortunately. But as I say, good for Bristol City getting a clean sheet. Obviously, it is against Sheffield Wednesday and it's difficult for them in their situation. But you can't take anything away from that attack. That Bristol City front line is just a joke and we need to watch out for them because they could score a lot of goals. And as I say, if you're not performing and you're not on it, Bristol City will put some goals past you. They should arguably be on more points as well. Where are they sat now? 4th in the table or something? Somewhere around there. 3rd in the table. And 12 goals scored in the opening 5 games. What are the second top scorers in the division? And decent defensively as well. 4 goals conceded. So things are looking really good for Bristol City. We saw it on the opening day of the season, though, where they really did make a statement against Sheffield United. And they've just continued that. And another really positive result. And this one, it's very frustrating for Birmingham City. There wasn't a huge amount in the game. I think Stoke deserved the win. But don't necessarily, there was a massive amount in the game. Lowell, sorry if I said that wrong, but he scored the header, which kind of just kind of lobbed the keeper in the end and just kind of floated its way into the back of the net. Aaron Cresswell got really good set piece taker. We know that from his days at West Ham. Sorba Thomas was electric again, I think, going forward. Millen Manhoof as well. Stoke could have had maybe another goal. They could definitely created a decent chance as well to maybe bag another. Birmingham had a couple of half chances, nothing too major. Stanfield had a couple, he had one cut back to him. I think he had another one as well where he kind of dragged it wide. But frustrating for Birmingham City. I think it was more of the same for Birmingham, really, in terms of chance creation was an issue. Let's just have a look at the possession. Birmingham having a lot of the ball. It's kind of same old story for Birmingham. A lot of passes, a lot of possession, but no real clear-cut and big chance created. You look there, it's just, no big chances created for Birmingham City in that game. Stoke had a decent chance. I say they probably should have scored as well, so it could have maybe been more. But Stoke with another decent performance where I've been really impressed with Stoke. And as I say, I put Stoke to winning it in my predictions because I just thought that Stoke have been so impressive this season. The kind of system they've got, and Mark Robbins has really got that team playing. And as I say, I think Sorba Thomas is absolutely electric. Manhoof's been really impressive this season. And defensively, they've been very good as well. There's a lot to like about this Stoke team. Bad day at the office for Birmingham. Of course, a difficult game going to Stoke. I think Stoke actually are kind of proving that they really could be up there come the end of the season. And honestly, fair play to Stoke because they're definitely proving a lot of people wrong with the way that they've started this season. I don't think many people expected that one at all. Also as well, Swansea, by the way, Ollie McBurney scoring against his former club. You just knew that was going to happen, didn't you? And the last minute limbs as well, with John Egan getting the equaliser. Vipotnik's been really impressive, by the way, this season. So it's good to see him continue his good start to the season and get himself another goal. I think he's a really good striker of the ball, really clean striker of the ball. and he started the season really well now. That's just 2 starts and 3 goals and 1 assist. So the guy's putting up really good numbers so far, and hope he can continue that for Swansea. They'll be kicking themselves. Hull City will be really happy to battle back and get themselves a point. They probably did deserve a point as well. So really, I mean, entertaining game over in Wales. I mean, this one we've got to talk about. If we've learned anything, it's that Derby County, no matter what situation, no matter what it is, they will beat West Brom. It's just a guarantee in life. Every single time Derby County manage to find a way. Doesn't matter how well they play, how bad they play, they will just end up getting themselves a result. West Brom had the vast majority of the ball, the vast majority of the chances, 18 shots, one big chance. They didn't create all too many in terms of clear cut, but in terms of the balance of play, West Brom definitely deserved to get the win in that game. But if you don't take your chance, then you're not clinical, and you end up getting punished because Andreas Weimann in the 84th minute, it was one of them games I bet where it felt like the longer the game went on, the more you think Derby County are going to nick us at the end of the game, because the curse that West Brom have got against Derby County. Andreas Weimann, really well taken goal. I think off the bench made a fantastic impact. Patrick Adjiman did really, really well, picked up the assist for the goal. And he looks like he could be a real handful. Obviously, he's kind of come with a big reputation, I would say, over in America, because he plays for the American national team. And a lot of American fans and MLS fans have really given him stick of coming over to Derby. Obviously, that's just what I've seen. I've not really watched Adjiman too. I've watched a couple of stuff with him for the USA, but where he didn't look great. But he was playing in that Gold Cup, I think it was, with a hernia, and he was playing with an injury, which probably did affect his performance. He didn't have the best Gold Cup, and he got obviously a lot of stick for that from the American fans who definitely coming over to Derby. They definitely made that clear. But as I say, he made a real good impact. Looks to be a real handful, real big physical presence, strong. Looks like he's, as I say, very physical and very quick as well. He's definitely one to keep an eye on this season, and definitely an interesting one that I've definitely got my eye on this season. And as I say, both substitutes making a real impact for Derby County in Andreas Weimann and Patrick Adjiman. Zetterstrom goal getting the man of the match on FOTMob. And as I say, Derby County keeping a clean sheet. Sanderson's bounced back as well. Fair play to him. And things looking a little bit better at Derby County. It wasn't a fantastic performance, but it was a hard-fought away win. You can say that is the perfect away performance. You're going away from home, keeping a clean sheet, nicking one at the end of the game. John Eustace's master plan is in full effect, and big first win of the season for Derby County after very nearly getting a win at Ipswich. They got 4 points from Ipswich and West Brom away. Really good results. I mean, if you asked them that at the start, they would have absolutely bitten your arm off. So 4 points is really good. Obviously disappointing against Ipswich to concede last minute, but 4 points is really impressive. I mean, this game, obviously, this is the one that I watched for 90 minutes. QPR versus Wrexham, and honestly, this game was absolute carnage. It was chance after chance for both sides. I think Wrexham were an absolute shambles defensively. I think Connor Cody, I mean, what on earth has happened to this guy? He scored an own goal. I mean, that was unfortunate. But the second goal for Richard Kone, unbelievable finish from Richard Kone, by the way. But Connor Cody standing off him just looked leggy. He was too slow to even close the gap to even get a block on the shot. And the third goal was just catastrophic. It was a long ball forward from Jimmy. It's literally just like a normal clearance, just boot up the pitch. Burrell is absolutely rapid. This guy is genuinely one to watch this season. I mean, I didn't really know too much about him when we signed him. Really good technical players. Link-up play is fantastic. Runs defenders ragged. Doesn't stop working. What a striker this guy could be. We've got a real good link-up between Kone and Burrell here. Burrell, who have really put up good numbers so far in the Championship and linked up really nicely in the division so far. And again, that was running behind. Connor Cody was just too slow. The guy was running in quicksand. Okonkwo was just glued to his line. He made a few good saves, and as I say, in terms of shot stopping, he wasn't bad. But in terms of sweeping up and coming off his line, he was far too slow off his line. He was glued to his line. Needed to be a bit more positive. Maybe even Danny Ward's more positive than him. I was a little bit concerned with Okonkwo there watching that, I'm not going to lie. Burrell was absolutely fantastic. Harvey Vale on the right side was unbelievable. Real good technical player. He was a player that broke through or came through at Chelsea. He was part of the Cobham. I think he won Cobham Player of the Year or something. There's some Chelsea Young Player of the Year where a lot of prestigious players who've gone on to have really good careers have won. So he's a player that clearly was very highly thought of at Chelsea. I think he's had injury issues. Now he's signed for us. He created 5 chances in the match. The guy was on that right hand side was unbelievable. His link up play was fantastic with Burrell and really calm on the ball. Made the right decisions. Was very positive. Really impressed with him so far in the few games that he's played. So hopefully, we signed him in January, but I hope he's kind of like a new signing because we signed him when he was injured. And Madsen in midfield was actually really good as well. It was a good performance. Defensively, still very concerning. I mean, Wrexham, They play one style. You know how Wrexham are going to play. They boot the ball up to keep them well. It's quite simply how Wrexham are. And it works for them at times. I think they're a little bit one-dimensional in the Championship. They're going to get found out for the way that they play. And this is why there is question marks about Phil Parkinson going forward. Because that the style of play, obviously I've watched him first. I've watched a few Wrexham games because I've been on TV. And they are very much just hit the ball long and hope for the best and kind of just play off and keep him on, hope that he can make the ball stick and get bodies up and around him, which, as I say, it can work, but you think you need to be a little bit more adaptable in the Championship. And I was disappointed with them. They definitely created a chance. I think defensively we're just an absolute shambles. We needed another centre-back. I'm still not sure on the defence. And the way that I think we were just a little bit light on the counter-attacks sometimes, and there's obviously the way that we play, and obviously we are exciting going forward the way that we're looking at the moment, but defensively it's not been good enough. And in that game, Wrexham the other day could have scored a few more. They had a really good chance with a header towards the end of the match, and they had numerous chances where they probably should have put the ball in the back of there, but this game was just absolute carnage. So you look there, 4 big chances each. I think we did deserve the win on the balance of the game, because I think obviously we went 2-0 up, we sat back, Kiefer Moore got that goal back, and then we managed to get that goal that managed to kill the game. But as I say, wasn't convincing defensively. I think Phil Parkinson's got serious questions to ask of him. £30 million spent. It's easy to pull this stuff up now, and you look at his record in the Championship. He's got a team that he should be performing with a lot better, in my opinion. They've been unlucky in games, Wrexham have definitely, but I think the money that they've spent with Phil Parkinson's track record is not really doing him any favours. I think he's under a big amount of pressure, and to be honest, I do think he'll end up going at some point this season. But it could be very soon. There's even talks about it very soon now. So I think if results continue like this, I don't think Wrexham will hesitate to pull the trigger. I know he's got back-to-back promotions, but I do just think, Wrexham don't want to mess about. I really don't think they will. And I think with Phil Parkinson's record, as I say, you do kind of fear for him with that. But let me know what you think. And let me know what you think of your team in the comment section down below. I'd be very interested to get your thoughts in the comment section down below. If you enjoyed the video, drop a like as well. Subscribe to the channel. It takes 1 second. If you wouldn't mind hitting that subscribe button. If you watch this point, you may as well hit the subscribe button. It'd be very greatly appreciated. Anyway, thank you very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you in the next one.